third chord I gave you guys is the D chord. So go ahead and take a look at that one. Once again, double line is the nut. You'll see the fret numbers there, and in this one we're actually moving on to the 3rd fret. Go ahead and try to find where you put your fingers to play the D chord. Now you'll notice up at the top, the 6th string is closed. That's got an X above it. The 5th string has an X in parentheses, and the 4th string has an O for open. The X in parentheses means you don't really want to play that note if you're really trying to be pure about the D chord, but it's not the end of the world if you do play that note, because all of these chords have multiple notes in them, and the notes in the D chord are D, F sharp, and A. And you remember what note the number 5 string is when you play it open. That's right, it's A. Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. Eddie ate. The 5th string is A. So there is an A in the D chord, but typically when you play these chords, you want the lowest sounding note to be the root note. So in this case, the root note would be D, because the root note is always going to be the same as the name of the chord. So the D chord, the root note is going to be D. But like I said, it's not the end of the world if you play the A. If you're going to be recording or something, or doing something where people are listening to it with headphones and you want the best sounding D chord possible, you're going to try to not play the A string. So you got your first finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. Second finger is on the 1st string, 2nd fret. And your 3rd finger is on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. Now let's double check it to see how it sounds, plucking it one string at a time, starting with the root note, the open D string. Again, the goal is to keep every string ringing throughout as you pluck them one at a time. They should keep ringing as you move on to the next one. If you need to adjust your fingers at all, that's okay. Just kind of remember the little adjustments you make so that you can lock in that muscle memory. But remember, make sure you do it correctly as you're playing it, because you don't want to lock in the wrong muscle memory. And there's your D chord. All right, if looking at our chord sheets, down on the chord progressions, you've got D for 2 measures, and then we're going to switch to A for 2 measures. Once again, we're going to play them really slow, so we're going to put our metronome setting at 42. Remember to count out loud. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. We'll end on D. 4 and D. Good. Now let's move on to the next chord progression. On this one, you'll notice it's all 3 chords. We got the A chord, then the D chord, and then the A chord again, and then the E chord. This one's a little bit trickier because instead of doing 2 measures per chord, it's actually just 1 measure per chord. You got to think a little bit faster so that you can switch chords on the first beat of each measure. So if you need to play it slower, again, the important part is to keep a consistent tempo. So if it takes you a while to switch from one chord to the next, then slow every beat down so that it matches that length of time it takes you to switch from one chord to the next chord. Here we go, count out loud. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. We're going to end on A. 4 and end on A. Did you get it? Once again, I want you guys to practice this one as much as you can until it starts to get more and more natural. Remember, don't worry about playing it fast, worry about playing it accurately. So try to keep a consistent tempo, hit the chords on the exact right beat without stopping and pausing, and try to nail the chords, make them sound good every time you play them. As you get better and better at how it sounds and it gets easier and easier, then and only then should you speed it up a little bit. And really you don't need to work on speed necessarily, because speed will start to happen naturally as you get really good at playing these chords. So now that we got that down, let's move on to the next one.